Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Vivian and welcome to BOOKMAS. According to the title below, you guys know what this is. I'm going to be talking about 2024 book releases. There's a lot of books coming out in 2024 and I'm so excited for a lot of them, but these are the ones that I'm really anticipating. These are the ones I know 100% I will get into. I'm not going to include every single book release in this video. I'm just including the ones that I think I will like, that I know I will get into, that I know I will buy. If your favorite book that's going to be released in 2024 is not in this video, please do not fret. I'm just not very up to date with a lot of books. I only wrote down the ones that I know is going to come out and I know I'm gonna like, and most of these are basically authors that I have bought from before, that I've read the story or it is part of a series, and that's why it's in this video. I have my list with me in this iPad and we're just gonna go down the list. I don't have it in order of when it's gonna be published, but I'll put it on the screen of the date it's gonna be published. We're gonna start right in the beginning. I think this book is one of my most anticipated ones of all time. It's Funny Story by Emily Henry. You guys have no idea how excited I am about this. I love Emily Henry, you guys. I literally adore her writing and she is my auto-buy author. She's one of my most favorite authors. She wrote so many books that I absolutely enjoy. None of her books are below a 4-star and I just love her writing, so that's why I'm so excited for this. When I saw that she was coming out with a book in 2024, I was freaking excited. I was hyped about this book. So according to Goodreads, this is the synopsis of the book. Also, the cover is really cute. I don't know if this is going to be the UK cover or the US cover. Daphne always loved the way her fiance Peter told their story, how they met on a blustery day, fell in love over an errant hat, and moved back to his lakeside hometown to begin their life together. He really was good at telling it, right up until the moment he realized he was actually in love with his childhood best friend, Petra, which is how Daphne begins her new story. Stranded in beautiful Waning Bay, Michigan, without friends or family, but with a dream job as a children's librarian that barely pays the bills, and proposing to be roommates with the only person who could possibly understand her predicament, Petra's ex, Miles Nowak. Scruffy and chaotic, with a penchant for taking solace in the sounds of heartbreak love ballads, Miles is exactly the opposite of practical, buttoned-up Daphne, whose co-workers know so little about her they have a running bet that she's either FBI or in witness protection. The roommates mainly avoid one another until one day, while drowning their sorrows, they form a tenuous friendship and a plan. If said plan also involves posting deliberately misleading photos of their summer adventures together, well, who could blame them? But it's all just for show, of course, because there's no way Daphne would actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex, right? That's so exciting. Is it fake dating? It's giving small town, it's giving fake dating. This is one of my highly anticipated new releases. Next one I have is The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This follows The Brothers Hawthorne. This one right here. I feel like it's a spin-off of the original The Inheritance Games trilogy. Now, the way I explain The Brothers Hawthorne is that it's a very long novella, because I feel like if you do not like The Inheritance Games, you wouldn't really like The Brothers Hawthorne. But because for me, the trilogy is a 5-star trilogy for me, I enjoyed The Brothers Hawthorne a lot. I really liked getting into Grayson and Jameson's point of view, getting to know their families. It's really fun. I'm excited for this book. I don't really know what it's going to be about. I know it follows whatever happened in The Brothers Hawthorne, and it mostly just follows Grayson and Jameson's family backgrounds, whatever happened during that plot, and whatever plot holes we have is going to be explained in this next book. And I'm excited. Hopefully we get a Grayson love line, because honestly this boy needs some romance in his life and I really want to see that. I don't know if this is going to be the only book in the duology or if there's going to be more books. We're not so sure, but I'm excited to get into that one. The next one I have is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. I read A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. That's a very long title, and I really liked that book. It had a lot of found family elements and I really liked the character development of the book, and I really liked the 3 young witches that's inside that book. And I think this one also follows the same characters in that book. I'm not entirely too sure. Let me check it out actually. Also, I really like the cover. It's pinky. It's just really cute. Oh, apparently it's not about the same characters of that book. It's like an interconnected standalone series, I guess. It's about Sarah Swan, who is one of the most powerful witches in Britain. She resurrected her great aunt Jasmine from the dead, lost most of her magic, befriended a semi-villainous talking fox, and was exiled from her magical guild. Now she helps Aunt Jasmine run an inn in Lancashire. Just very magical, very witchy. I don't know when this is going to be released. Oh, April 2. Even though it is a witchy book, I think you can read this any time of the year because it's more like a found family. I'm excited for that one. The next one I have is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I don't think this is a part of any interconnected standalone series. I love Abby Jimenez's writing, and I haven't read all of her books yet. I have yet to read Life's Too Short, and I have yet to read Yours Truly, mainly because I cannot get these books anywhere in my country. I'm gonna go traveling in January next year, and I'm gonna grab those books overseas, and I'm gonna read it in 2024. I think I'm gonna enjoy them. I loved Part of Your World, and also really like Happy Ever After playlist. Yeah, I really like her writing, so I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I think it's gonna be a little fun summery read. Justin has a curse, and thanks to a Reddit thread, it's now all over the internet. Every woman he dates goes on to find their soulmate the second they break up. When a woman slides into his DMs with the same problem, they come up with a plan. They'll date each other and break up. Their curses will cancel each other's out, and they'll both go on to find the love of their lives. It's a bonkers idea, and it just might work. Emma hadn't planned that her next assignment as a traveling nurse would be in Minnesota, but she and her best friend agree that dating Justin is too good of an opportunity to pass up, especially when they get to rent an adorable cottage on a private island on Lake Minnetonka. It's supposed to be a quick fling just for the summer, but when Emma's toxic mother shows up and Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings, they're suddenly navigating a lot more than they expected, including catching real feelings for each other. What if this time fate has actually brought the perfect pair together? Is this fake dating again? It's another fake dating trope, you guys. I love the fake dating trope if it's done really well, and we have 2 fake dating books? No freaking way. Found family, forced proximity, summer fling type of romance, fake dating? No word said. I will definitely read it. Another one I have is Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is the 2nd book of Better Than the Movies. I thought it was a standalone, but apparently another book is coming out. I feel like this book is more of like a fan service for the people who really liked Better Than the Movies. I read that book last year. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I felt like it was too YA for me. I think that was my problem with the book. But overall, I did enjoy the book, and apparently another one is coming out. I'll definitely read it, obviously, but I'm curious to see what they're going to navigate with this book. Next up, we have The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. I've only read one Sarah Adams book, actually. I've only read The Cheat Sheet. I really want to get into When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect. I cannot find When in Rome in my country, so I was waiting to go overseas to actually get it, but I found an independent bookstore that actually sells it. It just has yet to come to my house. So I will be reading it, but I'll probably read it next year. I don't know what this is going to be about, but I think it's sports romance. Next up, we have Daydream by Hannah Grace. This one, I know exactly what the synopsis is. So Daydream is a part of the Icebreakers interconnected standalone series. I recently read Wildfire. That one was the one that was recently released this year. I love the whole series in general. I like Hannah Grace's writing, and Daydream is about Henry. The male main characters of these books are a part of the hockey team of the college that they're in, and we're finally getting Henry's book. From what I know about this book, Henry has problems studying this one class. He needs a tutor, and she helps with tutoring, but in return he helps with something else. I don't know what he helps her with. I love the cover, you guys. A lot of people are saying that the cardigan that the girl is wearing is a Taylor Swift cardigan. I love the artist that makes this cover. She also made the cover of Collide by Val Cabra. I just love the covers that she makes, you guys. It's really pretty, and I didn't realize that Henry is a person of color. That's really fun. So I'm excited to get into this book. If you guys know, I love Magnolia Park. I didn't really like the first 2 books, but gradually it became a 5-star series for me, and I just fell in love with all the characters. I love how flawed they are. I love how they just break each other's hearts. I don't know why. I really like the whole series. Magnolia Park, Into the Dark. I'm so excited for this book. I think this is going to be the last Magnolia Parks book, but I don't think it's the last Daisy Hates book. And to be frank, I do love the Daisy Hates once more, but I'm still excited to see how BJ and Magnolia is going to come together and date each other. I don't know if they're going to be a happy ending or not, but I'm really excited for this book. I really want to see how this is going to end. Also, Just Hate Things is also coming out, which I also wrote another like new series, or is it a standalone? I'm not too sure. That's called Never. It's a Peter Pan retelling. I love her writing, you guys. She writes like a poet. It's like poetry. Her prose is beautiful. She just writes so many quotes that I absolutely love, that I don't understand how she can create those words. They're beautiful. They make my jaw drop. They make me gasp. My battery's dying, you guys. I need to go and change my batteries real quick. If you guys don't know what Magnolia Parks is, you follow a group of friends and they are really toxic and they're London socialites. A lot of people describe it as Gossip Girl London version. At this point, I really don't feel like it's very Gossip Girly, but it just feels like a chick lit type of series that you would watch in like the 2000s. The next one I have are basically 2 Ali Hazelwood releases. I don't know how she does this, but she's releasing 2 new books next year. Mind blown, you guys. One is called Bride. This is, I think, a fantasy romance between a werewolf and a vampire. She's always written rom-coms and I really like her writing. I don't know how she's gonna work with fantasy, but this is going to be her first fantasy book. I don't know if it's YA or if it's adult. Kinda exciting, to be honest. I don't know what's gonna be. This seems like Twilight vibes because werewolves and vampires. It's been a while since I've seen like a werewolf vampire story. I know there's a lot. It's been a while since I've read one. And then the other release is called Not in Love. I don't know if this is going to be STEM romance or not. I think it's going to be STEM. Actually, you know what? Let me check. Also, really like the cover. I don't know what it is about Ali Hazelwood's graphics. They just really slap. They're really amazing. Okay, so it is science. Rue Siebert might not have it all, but she has enough. A few friends she can always count on, the financial stability she yearned for as a kid, and a successful career as a biotech engineer at Klein, one of the most promising startups in the field of food science. Her world is stable, pleasant, and hard-fought until a hostile takeover and its offensively attractive front man threatens to bring it all crumbling down. Ellie Kilgore and his business partners want Klein, period. Ellie has his own reasons for pushing this deal through, and he's a man who gets what he wants, with one burning exception. Rue, the woman he can't stop thinking about, the woman who's off limits to him. Torn between loyalty and an undeniable attraction, Rue and Ellie, throw caution out of the lab and the boardroom windows. Their affair is secret, no strings attached, and is built in the deadline, the day one of their companies will prevail. But the heart is risky business, one that plays for keeps. It's adult romance and it is STEM. It's kind of like Friends with Benefits. Forbidden romance. Why is it forbidden though? I don't understand the forbidden part of this book. Next we have Beneath These Cursed Stars by Lexi Ryan. Lexi Ryan wrote These Hollow Vows and These Twisted Bonds. It's a duology. It's like a fae duology that really mimics ACOTAR. I didn't like that duology, but this one looked interesting, so that's why I put it in. So the cover looked really pretty. The cover kind of reminds me of the cover of Sorcery of Thorns. I don't know if it's the same graphic designer or not. I just read the synopsis of Beneath These Cursed Stars because I just wasn't sure what this book was about. I didn't realize that this might be a spin-off or a prequel to These Hollow Vows and These Twisted Bonds, the duology, because I see a name that I recognize. So there's this person in the duology that is called Misha, and he's like the wild fae. And I remembered mentioning that I really liked that character, and he was the only character that I liked. There's one character that I have come to like in this whole story, and it's not even like an important character. His name is Misha, and I'm not spoiling anything, by the way. It's his story, you guys. So with this book, you follow 2 female main characters, and one is a princess and one is a shapeshifter fae, and there's this prophecy that this evil king is gonna get resurrected, and so they have to work with 2 different love interests. So we have 2 love lines and they have to beat this evil force together. Misha is one of the love interests. I am surprised, and I'm also going to figure out if the person who made Sorcery of Thorns made this cover. They look very similar and this is really beautiful. I love it. Next up we have Holy Monsters by Imani Eriu. I don't know how to say her name. I am so sorry. But this is a part of the series called Heavenly Bodies. I read Heavenly Bodies. I have yet to finish Fallen Stars, but I really liked the first book and I'm currently in the middle of the second book, and I just figured that I would put the third book on here because I don't hear a lot of people talking about this series and I think it's really good. So that's why I put it in this video. You guys need to go and check out Heavenly Bodies. It's a fantasy romance. It's really good. There's these people called the Stars. They're basically gods and they kind of rule the world, and there's this runaway princess who was supposed to be killed because she has a prophecy that she is going to kill a star, and she runs off to her enemy court to seek refuge. It's really The romance is amazing and I am excited for this story to come out. I also really want to get the physical copies of this book, so I'm excited to go overseas next year and get a lot of books. This is one of the ones that I'm really excited about because it's a really good fantasy romance and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, so please go and check it out. Next up, I have Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. Now, this book is technically already published and I do own the physical copy of the indie version, but it is getting traditionally published, and the author did say that she was going to be doing heavy editing with the book before she published it next year, and I'm excited for that because the problem I have with Fear the Flames is that the plot, the world building, the characters are really good. Even the side characters I feel like play a role with the story, but I feel like the writing is cringy. I feel like the pacing of the writing is a little bit bad. There are some parts of the book where there's too much information, and there's some parts where I feel like there needs to be more description. I am happy to see that it's going to be editing with the book, and I'm gonna be picking up that book for sure. If you guys want to read Fear the Flames, I would suggest waiting, but I also feel like it's a really good book and I really want everyone to read it now. But with Fear the Flames, you basically follow this exiled princess. She owns 5 dragons. She was destined to be connected to 5 dragons, and because her dad doesn't want her to have that power, the dad wanted to kill her, but she ended up escaping. And for a few years during her exile, she built her own city, and one day she decided that she wants to get her dragons back. She ends up working with another commander who owns this other city, also adult, so there's some spice in it. Okay, the next one I have is A Fragile Enchantment by Alison Saft. I have not read her first book that I know of, which is Far Wilder Magic, I think, but I have not read this book yet. I know it's a very good fantasy standalone. I've heard a lot of people like it. I've heard also mixed reviews about the book. I really want to get into her writing, and I realized that she's going to release another book next year. So also gonna be a fantasy, also gonna be a standalone. Follow a magical dressmaker commissioned for a royal wedding, and she finds herself embroiled in scandal, and a gossip columnist draws attention to her undeniable chemistry with the groom. That's really fun. Obviously I'm gonna include it. House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas. So I am committed to reading the Crescent City series next year, House of Earth and Blood and then House of Sky and Breath. I do own the first 2 books, I just have yet to get into it. So no, I will not be reading House of Flame and Shadow as soon as it comes out. I'll get through the series one by one. I'm just terrified of going into another SJM series. I absolutely loved, absolutely adored, obsessed with Throne of Glass, and I don't think any series can beat that, and so I am terrified of getting into Crescent City. I just don't think I'm ready for that kind of pain and suffering again, but I am committed to getting into the Crescent City series next year. So with that being said, I will be excited for this release. Another one that I don't know how to talk about this without sounding crazy, but I am so excited for this book. I am talking about Taming VII by Chloe Walsh. So Binding and Keeping 13 is the first 2 books, and then Saving 6 and Redeeming 6 are the next 2 books, and then Taming 7 is the next book of that. Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, you follow Joey, who is the brother of the main character of Binding 13 and Keeping 13, and then in Taming 7 you follow Gibbs and Chloe, I think. If you guys read the whole Boys of Tommen series, you'll know who those characters are, and I'm so excited to see their books come out. I didn't know that their book is coming out. I thought I was gonna stop at Joey's story, but apparently it's a whole series, so I am excited for this one to come out. Binding 13 and Keeping 13 absolutely broke my heart. Also, if you guys can hear my dog snoring, apologies. He's sleeping, can't stop him from snoring. Absolute insanity, that book. I am so excited to get into it. The last one I have in my list is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Powerless is a 5-star read for me in 2023. I absolutely adore that book. I love the fantasy romance in that book. I love the fact that it's YA, but I am so obsessed with the male main character. I literally love him, and the fact that he has the same name as my bias in K-pop, who is a part of EXO. I cannot comprehend the amount of excitement I have when I heard that she's writing Reckless and it's coming out next year, I think in June or July. I'm not ready. I'm literally not ready, but I am so excited for that book to come out. If you guys don't know what Powerless is, you're living under a rock. You're literally living under a rock. It is basically a mix of The Hunger Games and Red Queen, and the author said that herself, that it's a mix of those 2 series, and I'm excited for a second book to come out. That is all that I have on my list right here. There's probably a lot more that's coming out in 2024 that I have not mentioned. I will put in some, I guess, notable mentions if I do end up finding a little bit more. Hopefully you guys are interested in these books as well, and if you guys have any anticipated releases in 2024, let me know in the comments below. I would love to check them out and add them to my list, and If you guys are excited for any of the releases I mentioned, comment down below. Share the excitement with me because I am excited for these books. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys are following my Bookmas journey, then you will see a next video tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. Don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys can get notified if I upload a new video. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!